Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well and prepared. Attenzione, I have an excellent, fantastic, and I will tell you even more, an exclusive news to share with you regarding a contract renewal. And after that, we have two big topics to tackle. Gleison Bremer, he's on the market, and apparently, according to our friends of Gazzetta, dello, Federico Chiesa is asking an increase in salary to renew the contract with Juve from 5 million euro a year, what he's earning now, going to 8 million euro. Two big controversial topics that I really want to share my opinion with you, but before speaking about all these things, before revealing the big news, I'm really asking you to put a maximum of like on the video. I really want to make it a habit that we can all together reach 500 likes per video. Would be fantastic. If you didn't yet, subscribe to the channel. Ragazzi, we start immediately because I hope you will not be disappointed. I hope you didn't expect a player to be officially renewed because I'm talking about myself. I'm super happy because I will continue to be the host of Twitch Juventus for at least one more season, 23-24. I will be there representing Juventini and I'm super honored, super happy. And that's why I really wanted to take time to say thanks because your support every single day on the channel is making me better, it's making me stronger, gives me the will to every time improve myself, and that's what I want to continue to do here on the channel GJustjuve, but also on Juventus Twitch. It's an honor because I tell you, never I would have even imagined or dreamed to work with Juve, let alone extending 3 years, because that will be my 4th season, and I can make you a promise. I will try to really do my best because I know how a privilege it is to be on the Juventus Twitch channel with players, without players, but at least giving a voice to Juve. So thank you for all your support because this is also thanks to you. Now we speak about all the news. Gleison Bremer, Federico Chiesa, but before that, let's open Gazzetta dello Sport that is speaking about Inter. Attenzione, Frattesi said yes, apparently. Now, Inter is saying that they need to sell before signing him. So if Juventus really wants Frattesi, that yesterday was excellent with Italy, they need to rush. They need to go really, really fast. But then the big news. De Laurentiis fooled everyone. Yesterday we opened L'Equipe with Garcia au pied du volcan. Garcia close to the volcano near to Napoli. This morning, well, we have the big news because yesterday evening Aurelio De Laurentiis on Twitter announced that it will be Rudi Garcia, the new coach of Napoli. I saw a lot of doubts, a lot of criticism, a lot of jokes, a lot of banter about Rudi Garcia being the coach of Napoli. Pay attention. Before laughing, wait, because he's a coach that really knows Serie A, did well with Roma, did well with Lyon in France. Spalletti, before winning this season with Napoli, never did it. A lot of question marks about him. Well, at the end, he did it. Can Rudi Garcia do it again? We will discover it. Enough talks about Napoli. Why am I speaking about it since 2 days? For one simple reason. Now that they have officially a coach, free Giuntoli and fast. Because in today's video, I will talk to you about the diet of 140 million euro and Juventus needs sporting director that knows how to sell, not only how to buy. Corriere dello Sport is speaking about Italy. Italia solo rimpianti. Italy only regrets. Why? Because yesterday Italy in the Nation League lost 2-1 in Nation League against Spain. They are eliminated. Well, if it was the year of Calcio is back, looking at all the teams that lost in final, what a disaster year. Roma losing in Europa League final. Fiorentina losing in Conference League. Inter losing in Champions League final. Italy under 20 losing in the Mundialito, and then yesterday the Nation League. Only under 21 team can do something this summer. Let's see if yes or no they can at least bring a trophy for Italy for a disaster year, at least so close to the target. Anyway, yesterday I watched with an eye Italy-Spain because I was curious about our players, Bonucci and Federico Chiesa, but also potential players linked to Juve, Frattesi and Zaniolo. Let's start with Bonucci. What a disaster. The worst of the game, quoted by Gazzetta dello Sport and Tuttosport. 4, that's the rating given by Gazzetta dello Sport for Bonucci, that at the 3rd minute is doing a disaster. But I was immediately asking myself, who has the biggest share in that big disaster mistake of Bonucci? Is it Donnarumma giving him that ball? That is really dangerous. It's really saying make a mistake. Is it Bonucci that is doing a disaster there? Or is it Mancini that continued to call up Bonucci in the national team of Italy and not only calling him up but also giving him a starting role? I'm curious. I'm curious about your answer. Who is the most at fault in what happened yesterday? But it's strange to speak about Bonucci in that immediate big collapse since now 1 year. Because we can speak about some performances, we can speak about Barzagli, Chiellini, and Bonucci and Buffon giving a career to Bonucci, whatever you want to, but he did it. He is in the history of Juve. And if there was one thing where Bonucci was fantastic at, it was the continuity. And now he has no continuity anymore. When he's playing, he's doing disaster on disaster on disaster. And what hurts me is speaking like that about the player of Juve, the captain of Juve, and I'm asking myself, for 6 million a year, is he still the player that we want? That we can count on? Big question mark. And I'm asking not you, but Bonucci to really think about it. But I also watched Chiesa. He didn't change anything, still far from his top level. And then two players that are linked. If Zaniolo started really well for 15-20 minutes, after that he totally ghosted the game. And Frattesi, MVP, yesterday he was fantastic. And that's why if Juventus really want him, they need to rush. Take a decision. You want him or you don't want him, but go fast because there are a lot of teams that are queuing for Frattesi, valued, said by Di Marzio yesterday, 35 million euro. Tutto Sport is speaking about the diet. Financial diet. Juve una dieta da 140 milioni. Juventus a diet of 140 million euro. And that's why Juventus is already working on selling a lot of players. Fabrizio Romano yesterday reported that all the midfielders that will come back from loan will be sold. McKennie, Arthur and Zaccaria. But also Quadrado and Alexandro are also set to leave. So Juventus are conscious about that situation. They know what are the priorities, Giuntoli or not Giuntoli, they are already working to sell them. And it's not a mystery that the first name on that selling list is Kulusevski. Talks with Tottenham that after offering 20-25 million euro to Juve, well, there is another big name, another big player that entered the race, and it is Newcastle that is ready to offer the asking price of Juve 35 million euro. And that's why yesterday the talks with Tottenham are going faster. Tottenham is now aware that there is a queue also for that player. And that's where I believe that Juventus will need to be really, really, really strong. Doing something that in the last few years we were not really great at. Selling players that have requests for the best possible price. McKennie has offers. He has mercato. Don't sell him for 10 million euro. Arthur is maybe a difficult one, but Zaccaria has mercato, has proposal, selling for the best possible price. Kulusevski, don't give him away for 20 million euro. Even Pellegrini, if Lazio really wants him, sell him for according price to his value. Juve, that's where you have to be really strong at. Otherwise, you will have difficulties, because in a total of saving cost in salary, but also in selling players, and also signing new players, Juventus will have to save, according to Tuttosport, 140 million euro. Selling, saving on cost of salaries, and then what you go on the market to replace them. 140 million euro. I don't go too much in detail, but it will be a mercato where you really have to think about it. And that's why it's not a mystery that Juventus with Marseille are not going to spend immediately cash the 7 million euro for Milik. Because a lot of people are saying, Beppe, is it possible that a club like Juve is not able to spend immediately 7 million euro if you believe in Milik? Well, Juventus will need to pay really a lot of attention, because more you are spending on new players, more you will need to sell. And having an agreement with Milik for 1.5 million on a loan for one more season with an obligation to buy at 5.5 could save a bit of million for this season mercato. But Milik is that close to come back to Juve. Anyway, let's now speak about Gleison Bremer. Yes, he is on the market. Why? I don't know if you remember, but on the 16th of January, I made a video, Paradox Juve, where I told you that the team that was built in the mercato last season had no harmony and was in real difficulty. If you played with 3 in the back, you had difficulties up front. If you played with 3 up front, you had difficulties at the back. We had no fullbacks, and so on and so on. But one of the names that I already told you there was Gleison Bremer, the best defender of 21-22, signed from Torino with one big problem. The best defender in a 3-man defense. While Juventus has idea to play with a 4-man defense. I told you, a crucial thing before understanding who's leaving, who's joining, will be taking a decision. If you really want to go to a four-man defense, what I am understanding from the names that are circulating, well, go for four-man, but then find adapted names for a four-man defense. Gleison Bremer is fantastic in a three-man, but is losing a lot of his power, a lot of his potential in a four-man defense. So that's why I can potentially understand that if you have to sacrifice a big name to enter in these parameters of saving 140 million euro, that Gleison Bremer is on the market, because you really want to go to a four-man defense with people that can give you solidity in that four-man defense. I would be disappointed. I would be sad. It's not a player that I want to sell, but if I take everything into consideration and to go into a harmony of real fullbacks and real two-man defenders in the center back, I could potentially understanding, because that could potentially also give me power and resources to say no to the sales of Federico Chiesa, of a Ealing Jr. or other players that could potentially be on the market to reach these 140 million saving. Give me your opinion about Gleison Bremer, but there is another name that we have to talk about, and it is Federico Chiesa. According to Gazzetta dello Sport, and I really want to mention also the journalist that wrote about it, it's Marco Guidi. Marco Guidi, that I'm always curious to see how he's speaking about Juve, because we have to be objective. He's not the most fair, the most fan, the most kind with Juve when he's speaking about Juve on Gazzetta dello Sport. He spoke about problems with Kenan Yildiz, and then he wrote on Twitter that he was not even believing the news that he wrote. Strange thing for a journalist. But anyway, Marco Guidi is reporting that apparently the agents of Federico Chiesa asked if renewal talks would start, that Federico Chiesa wants to go with 8 million euro. I always want to underline and making in bold that I don't know if the news is real. If the news is real, I would not understand it. I believe it's a wrong timing. If I can understand that Federico Chiesa is 25 and he will turn 26, and that he wants to challenge to become one of the top earners at Juventus, I can understand it. It's part of ambition. It's part of wanting to see him considered as the top player of Juventus, and I can understand that. But what I don't understand is the timing. The timing where Scannavino is coming out and saying we need to save, feet on the ground, financial difficult situation. I don't understand the timing of Federico Chiesa, that has been out for 1 year due to an ACL, with all the supporters of Juve giving him time. We were patient. We all believed in him. We closed an eye when he was not doing that well on the field. We saw it this season. He was not yet at top form. The performance of yesterday with Italy is also confirming it's not only because of the way of playing of Allegri. It's Federico Chiesa that at the moment, as we speak, the 16th of June, is not yet at top level. I would have expected waiting a few months, because the contract will end on 2025, showing on the field that you are back and that you deserve all the requests that you are asking. And again, if the news is real, to go and say, Juventus, look, I am your Chiesa, I am your symbol, I am your Juventus. I deserve that money because what I'm showing on the field. I said publicly that I was sorry for all the supporters because I wanted to give more and I couldn't. Well, after all the difficulties of Juve, I understand it. You waited for me, I will wait for you. Not 3 years, because it will be too late for my own career, but at least waiting before these kind of news. Again, I would not be happy if that's reality, but because it's Gazzetta dello Sport, because it's Marco Guidi, because we know how Gazzetta dello Sport is trying to manipulate and put even more anger in the supporters of Juve, I will not go too much in details about it. I will not worry too much about these kind of strange requests. I will wait a bit. Wait a bit. Now, it's not a mystery that Chiesa could potentially be also on the market because, again, you like it or not, there will be one, if not two big names that could be sacrificed. In terms of entries, today Tuttosport is confirming a news that we were already talking about 2 days ago, the name of Mikau Datse. Again, I saw him. Few highlights, few games. I informed myself. Cheap player. Mamma mia, what a player. Mamma mia, what a player. Mamma mia, what a player. Then, Ligue 2 is not Ligue 1. Liga is not Premier League. We have to be patient. But that's the name that I like. That's the name that is telling me, Beppe, you don't always need a lot of money, but you need a lot of ideas. Ragazzi, that was it for me on the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you didn't forget to put a maximum of like. 500, that's what I want. I hope you are enjoying the fact that I started with my contract renewal with Juventus. I hope you are not too much disappointed. Let me know everything in the comment. Grazie, forza, Juve.